Keep going. Okay, no, go right. Okay, stay left. Okay, I'm getting worried about this moment.
Hey guys, it's Molly here again, and today I'm taking you on a journey. So, 10 days ago, I decided that I wanted to run a 5K. The Scotiabank Waterfront 5K to be exact. It's actually, they have like the marathon, the half marathon, the 5K, but like, listen, I'm blind and I don't do cardio, so 5K in 10 days was like a big enough jump for me. I consider myself a pretty fit, active person. I try to work out like 2 to 3 times a week when my schedule allows, but cardio is not really my form of working out. Just not a cardio fan. And on top of that, like I mentioned, the whole blind thing. So I was like, all right, I can do this. I have, 10 days. Let's do this. So day one, I got out there and we thought, my mom could like orally guide me. So I would run and she would be behind me and orally give me directions. And we very quickly realized that was not going to work out.
Keep going. Okay, no, go right. Okay, stay left. Okay, I'm getting worried about this moment. Maybe I should be running with you.
I know. Okay. We need to rethink this.
Okay, we need to rethink this.
So by day 2, I had roped my mom into training with me by actually like physically guiding me the way you would typically guide a blind person using your elbow. And then by day 3, I had literally roped her into guiding me. So when a sighted guide guides a blind runner, they actually do so typically by a tether, because when you're doing typical sighted guide, as we found out on day 2 of training, it's a little bit, tight. And so we made our own tether using a dog leash. I was literally like a dog running behind my mom. I actually could not stop laughing when we started running with this for the first time, because I just thought, how ridiculous us 2 tiny women must look running on the sidewalks of our residential neighborhood with this between us. But hey, it worked. And that's when we put like the official call out to a blind running group to ask them if they could, provide us with an actual guide for the real race, because I didn't want to put my mom through this. But something that also happened on day 3 that really I didn't think much of at the time was, as I was running, I rolled my right ankle. It was like a super casual roll, just a little, flip of the foot, and then just kept running because I'm, invincible. I felt no pain. I was in the running zone. And so just rolled the ankle and kept going, didn't think anything of it. And then day 4 rolls around and my ankle was a little bit sore, but like really minor. It was one of those things where like when I would bend the ankle, I was like, it hurts a tiny bit. I must have hurt a muscle or something. I'll take the day off running. So we took a nice rest day. Besides, when you're training for marathons or 5Ks, you should always take rest days. So I took a rest day, and the next day, Sunday, got back at it. Day 5, got up, it was pouring rain. And when I say pouring rain, I mean I have not seen rain like this in Toronto in a very long time. So it was pouring rain, but I was like, I got a 5K to do next week. I'm running out of time. I need to get out there. So my mom and I, we put on our running gear. We got out in the pouring rain, and we ran our little hearts out, and it was actually the best we had done. I just did 2 kilometers in 27 minutes, which as somebody who doesn't do cardio, doesn't run, it is what it is. I don't expect to be quick at this race. I expect to come last. And no, this is not sweat. It was pouring rain. So I feel like, given how rainy it was, I did pretty well. Like literally, you guys, I can wring water out of this shirt. Gotta do what you gotta do. Sick Kids is worth it. Let's do this. I was feeling good about it. I was very proud of myself, and I was like, you know what? I still have a week to go. If I just did 4K in half an hour, I can do this thing. I will conquer this. And then I sat down, did some emailing. An hour later, stood back up to go grab some water to continue to hydrate myself. Very important. And that's when I felt very sharp shooting pains through my right ankle. And that, my friends, is the moment I knew something had gone awry. But trying to stay calm, because my mom, she's a little bit weirdly psychic. It's one of those weird things. the whole time leading up to this, like the other 4 days, she kept going, I just have this feeling you're gonna hurt yourself. Like, I'm really happy that you want to, you know, get back out there and get running, and you're really into this. But I just have this gut feeling like I'm really worried you're gonna hurt yourself. And so I knew when I felt that pain in my ankle, after me going, no, I'll be fine, don't worry about me, I'm a tank, that this was a problem and I was, you know, gonna have to play it cool. So I'm playing it cool. I'm like, can I just like grab a little bit of ice? So I start icing my foot, and I'm like, you know, it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna go to bed, get a good night's sleep. Monday's gonna roll around, day 6 of training, I'm gonna be fine. And actually on the Monday, day 6, I was having like a real running coach come all the way out from Toronto to have a 2-hour session with me where we were gonna run together. She was gonna teach me good training techniques. Like, I was getting so into this. We had actually just officially found Randy, my running guide for the 5K. We were really set to go. And Monday comes and I wake up and I'm like, ooh, this isn't good. And at this point I'm limping. I can't really walk properly. And my mom's like, we're taking you to the doctor. And that is when I found out that I had given myself a really lovely stress fracture. Yep, here it is. Look at that. That's my friend for the next 4 to 6, maybe 8 weeks. Yay. So that was the fancy walking air boot I got given, and I was also told at that point that I was not going to be able to run despite me like really, you know, feeling strong about it. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I could still run. Like, I'll just strap the ankle up. Well, I'm gonna still do this. And they were like, you are not. And they said that essentially if I run on a stress fracture, I will fully break my ankle. And I wasn't a huge fan of that idea. Because the day after running the 5K, I was going to New York City and LA for 10 days. And I was like, I don't want to have to like go after the 5K and like get myself casted up and get myself some crutches. Like, that's just not a scene I want to be a part of. So I will accept my walking air cast for the next 4 to 6 weeks of my life, and I will not run the 5K, which was really devastating for me. And by the time I found this out, my trainer was already on her way out. So she showed up and I was like, hey, I can't run. And so we had like a nice little girly chat, and she told me good training techniques, which I will now share with you right here. This little interview chit chat that we did. You can find out her training techniques so you avoid what I had happen. And we also, of course, because I love fashion, talked about the best running day, game day outfit. For somebody who, like me, does not do cardio and hates running and decides 10 days away from a 5K that they're just gonna jump in and do it, what training regime would you usually recommend?
So first off, congrats on your 4K, because that's huge. Yes, pat yourself on the back, because I think a lot of people can't run more than 5 minutes without stopping.
Which was me day 1.
Yeah. Heart rate up here, out of your chest? Yes.
Yep,
so,
sweating lots.
Yeah, that's completely normal.
As a non-sweater, I was like, what is this stuff?
What's dripping off of me here?
Great.
Yeah, so that's awesome already that you did that. So for sure, there's no doubt in my mind that you could have done the 5K easily on it.
Next year's Scotiabank run.
Coming for you?
I will be doing the 5K.
Yeah, it's happening. Well, now it's recorded, so now you have to do it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
no turning
now
back.
they're gonna be on my tail about it.
Yeah. But for anyone else that, let's say, 10 days out, they're like, I'm gonna run a 5K. What can I do? At least you've done a couple of runs, so that's step 1. Don't just do nothing.
Nothing, and day of you get up.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But 10 days, that's a very short time frame. So to even go on a training program, I just throw that out the window.
Yeah.
I would say, like, number 1, like, find some motivation. Like, what was the reason why you signed up? Is it to support others? Is it a mental challenge, physical challenge for you? You're doing it for sick kids. So it's like, that's something that you should be able to dial into on race day, let's say, right? Because truthfully, in 10 days, how much training can one person get in? Well, you got in some key runs.
Yeah,
awesome.
apparently I got in some really great runs where I just totally screwed myself over.
No, but you got some runs in, so that's good. But in terms of training, like, you can't really think of that for 10 days. So I think, you know, finding your inspiration leading up to the race is like, you don't have an option now, but rest and recovery, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't really train too much
So,
a week
like,
going into
running
your race.
every day?
No.
Is that no?
No, that's a no-no. So going into your race, I would say lots of rest and recovery. You almost want to feel like too rested, like you're anxious to race, you're excited
Right,
to
your
race.
body's like, I need to get
Movement,
this energy
yeah.
out because I've been like so stationary.
You don't want to go into the race tired. So if you're like training right up to the race, that's not good.
What is your go-to, because you do marathons, you just did the
Yes.
Chicago one last week.
Yeah.
So what is your go-to like hair, makeup, outfit running day?
Oh, okay. So I pretty much have my makeup of what I do daily for my runs as well. I probably would say that I put my eyebrows and mascara a little thicker on race day because you're gonna sweat. So I'm a big mascara, bronzer, blush. I do, but neutral. Would you say? I think so. Yeah.
Very, yeah.
To my audience,
Yeah, yeah.
to your audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always go full face of makeup because I like to feel good on race day. I like to feel like myself. So I think there's no shame in wearing the makeup on race day.
I am a big believer in like when you look
Yeah.
good, you feel good.
Totally.
I perform better on stage when I do speeches, when I'm
Yeah.
like wearing a killer outfit,
Yep.
and I love my hair and makeup.
Yeah.
But when I'm like just kind of like threw an outfit together and I'm just like not feeling my hair, like I get up and I just don't feel as good, and I don't feel
Yeah.
like I perform as well because
Yeah.
I feel like less confident.
I
So-
totally get that. Yeah, and new outfits too. I always say with racing though, never try anything new. But if it's like a new
Right, because you don't want to like be chafing.
No,
and you're like,
no chafing.
Wow, I'm 20K in.
Yeah.
Still got a while to go.
No, you don't want the chafing. But if it's just like a new color of what I already have, etc., it's like I do call my running clothes outfits. Like, what's my running outfit for today? Because
Yeah.
it's an outfit I put together, and I want to feel good racing.
Well, I love
and-
like the bright workout
Yeah,
colors.
we both have on the
and-
blues
Yeah, I
today.
love like patterned yoga pants and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, my shoes are like bright purple and
I love
coral.
them.
I love, you know, it makes it fun. It makes working out fun when you do that.
I agree.
All right, well, thanks for coming out and not
thanks
training
for
with
having me. Oh, I
I really appreciate you giving them advice in case they're going to be, you know, as nuts as I am and decide to do a 10K or a 5K 10 days
In
out.
10 days out, yeah. problem.
And don't train the way I did because you will give yourself a stress fracture. That's my advice. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, we had like a nice little chat. She was really cool. I really appreciated that. I like was so upset that we couldn't go for a run that day, but I was starting to accept that running wasn't gonna happen. But that didn't mean I wasn't gonna do the 5K because I am the type of person, when I commit, I commit. I go all the way. I'm not gonna like give something up. I am not halfway anything. I am full in, full on all of the time. And so I was like, all right, we just have to like brainstorm a little bit. How am I gonna be able to do a 5K when I'm told I can't run and I have to avoid walking or weight bearing as much as possible? I'm gonna rent myself a wheelchair. And so I rented myself a wheelchair and I did the 5K. And my guide runner, Randy, turned into my guide pusher or my push runner, or I don't know what we're gonna call him, but he pushed the chair. He was such a champ. I mean, I honestly did nothing. I just sat in a chair and like held a cute little sign. He did all of the work. He was such a cool guy. So Randy, shout out to you. And here are some clips from the big day. So we are down by the water. There's 8,000 people taking part in the Scotiabank 5K, and I have my guide runner here, Randy, and you work with Achilles?
Achilles Canada, yes. So we help guide runners with certain challenges. They can be anywhere from visually impaired, anxiety disorders, schizophrenia. So I've done a few marathons already. New York, I guided a visually impaired runner with New York, and I've been with Achilles Canada for over 3.5 years now. Done this race 2 years ago. Great to have you out too and get a taste of the action.
The most important part of any race, that your sunglasses match your pants. Oh, I wish I was running.
Planes.
Woohoo, we made it to 1K. Ugh, I tell you, I am sweaty and exhausted after that 5K.
Pictures, photos on your left.
So tired, that was a lot of work on me. I'm back. I missed you. Oh, I missed you. Yes, I missed you. So So as you could see on the sign, I was fundraising, I was running or rolling for Sick Kids Hospital, and I have until the 31st of October. I did the 5K today, the 22nd, and I'm hoping this video is going up quick because I do only have until the 31st. I've been posting on social media about it, trying to fundraise, and you guys have been super supportive. And you know, no pressure, but if you can give, I would really appreciate it. And I know so many other families who utilize Sick Kids would really, really appreciate it. So if you have anything big or small to give, I would thank you so, so much. And yeah, I think it's amazing that Scotiabank does this. To date, Toronto, this marathon has raised $31.4 million since 2003, and nationally they've raised $58 million for charities locally and nationally who do things like healthcare and education and essentially just better the community. So I think it's really, really amazing, and I was really happy to be a part of it and fundraise for Sick Kids. Fundraising has been a passion of mine my whole life, but Sick Kids has never been, I've been affected by so many charities, and Sick Kids has just never been one that I've fundraised for, and I was like, this is the time, this is my opportunity, I want to give back to them. And so yeah, I really appreciate you guys giving anything that you can, and again, no pressure, but until the 31st at 5 p.m. EST, you can donate. The link is down below, is a pinned comment where you can go and donate, as well as in the description box with any other information I can think to shove on down there. So yeah, essentially what I'm trying to say, I keep saying the word essentially, I'm gonna stop. But what I'm trying to say here is that life doesn't always go as we plan. I was really excited to do this. Mom, how long have I been saying now that I wanted to get back into running?
3 months.
For 3 months now, I said that I wanted to get back into running. In fact, I got running shoes back in the summer. And finally, this opportunity to run with the Scotiabank 5K came up, and I was like, this is it. I'm gonna get back into this. And then realizing that I could fundraise for Sick Kids on top of it, it was just like the perfect situation. And then my ankle broke, and that was not the perfect situation, and that was not what I was expecting, and it hurts. And I hate this stupid cast that doesn't go with any of my outfits, and I can't wear heels, and it's just awful. And, you know, I didn't give up. And I think that's what's important here, is never give up. When you want to do something, when you set out to accomplish something, when you set a goal for yourself, big or small, you know, do whatever you can. Things don't always go as we planned. I'm pretty sure my family didn't plan to have a blind daughter, but they did, and they've just rolled with it. See what I did there? Rolled with it, because I did a wheelchair roll. Anyways, so, you know, you just have to go with things sometimes. Life hands you a lot of lemons, and you just have to make a lot of lemonade with it, because why not? Lemonade's delicious. So thank you guys for sticking with me for another video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs it up if you did. Hit that subscribe button if you want to join the fam jam. We have a lot of fun over here, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.